Imagine that you're preparing for a major project for a nonprofit and you are in charge of identifying grant funding that will support this project. Here are three key questions that you have to answer when researching grants, and in particular, grant funding from foundations, grant funding from grant making foundations. Let's look at this. Here we go. Number one, you need to look at who they are. What is this foundation? Who is it? Where do the funds come from? How is it generating funds? Is it a one-time thing? Is it an ongoing thing? Is it something that's just launching and it's just getting off the ground? Or is it something that's established that they've been doing this for decades? Who is it? Look at it. Is it a corporate foundation where the funds stem from what they see as a write-off for corporate benefit and corporate taxes? Is it a local community foundation where they have a focus on a specific community and its residents? Who is the funding source? And that's where you start. Number one, who is it? And that'll help you get started with answering these key questions. Secondly, what do they fund? Each foundation, for each type of grant they offer, should provide funding categories or priorities that they're funding for this particular time. We'll look at them as funding priorities, and we'll say that most foundations have at least 1 to 2 funding priorities. Some have 5 to 7, depending on how large their foundation is and how widespread their donations are. We want to know what they fund, because if they do not fund the type of activity that you are seeking to design for your project, that's not a good fit for you. Don't just apply to a foundation simply because they're open for business and they're providing grants. Make sure those grants match the type of activity that you're doing. Make sure those grant funding applications and their grant funding priorities match with the type of activities that you're planning on doing through your project. Otherwise, you're wasting your time and you're wasting the grant reviewer's time, because they're not matched. And when they're not matched, you don't fit and it falls by the wayside. So you want to know who they are, and then you want to know, what do they fund? What type of programs do they fund? What type of support do they provide? Is it purely technical assistance, or is it, a monetary grant donation? What is it? Is it a matching grant? Do you have to find matching funds in order to complete the cycle for the grant? What is it? And is it connected to time, or is it connected to delivery of services? What do they fund? And that's what you need to find out in order to answer the second key question when researching grants. And finally, you really want to know, how do you get funded? How do you get funded? Do you start with a letter of intent? Do you just go directly to an online application? Do you have to be recommended by an employee of the corporation who has volunteered or has experience with your organization, who's familiar with the organization, and who submits a recommendation on behalf of your organization? How do you get funded? How does that process start? What does that process entail? And when is that deadline? When is the due date for whatever it is that they require from you in order to get funded? And it may be an online application that's in a form, almost like a Google form. It may be an online application that's almost like signing into a database and plugging in information. It also may be a short Google Doc type application, or require you to type a Word doc, right, or a PDF, and submit that to a certain email, and that would be part of the process. It all depends on what that foundation outlines, but most local community foundations and corporate foundations list not only their grant priorities, but also their grant process. Some do it on a quarterly basis, some do it on an annual basis, and some do it on a rolling basis. All those are different. You need to find that out and find out what fits for your organization and what you need in order to get funded doing the research for grants, answering these 3 key questions. Thank you. God bless.